Today I'm working on my wife's 2010 Toyota minivan. I'm going to do a brake job on it. Got the caliper off. I have tried everything so far. I have hit this with a hammer. I've negotiated with it. I have cussed it. In our area they use a lot of chemicals in the wintertime, so the rust around here gets to be kind of problematic when you're not taking brakes off or your rotors, any of that stuff regularly, which you really don't need to. Well, it's been probably 5 years, so it's time for these rear brake rotors to be swapped out. A lot of people don't know, and if you look at replacement rotors, and some drums have them as well, most, you'll see a couple holes that actually have threads in them. Now, some people will say once the caliper's off, I've seen guys that have taken a bolt, put a nut and a washer back here which kind of presses on the outside. Well, you get a fair amount of flex. Sometimes that does break that loose, but these manufacturers actually put these in here to assist with that. So that's what I'm going to try for. There are companies that sell pullers out there, which basically consists of a couple hooks and a bar with a threaded rod that screws in here, intended to break that loose. Now that's $100-$130. If I don't have to spend it, I don't want to. So I'm going to try these two threaded bolts. I did blast some penetrating oil in there to try and loosen that up, but I've got a couple M8 bolts that I'm going to see. Hopefully that'll break it loose. I can get these things swapped out, but I wanted to point that out because sometimes these do get rusted and they can be kind of a pain in the neck trying to get them off. See if it'll bust this loose. All right. Oh yeah, so again, if you find yourself with a drum or a rotor that by hitting it with a hammer it won't come loose, cussing it, fighting it, negotiating with it, look for these threaded holes right there. Grab a couple bolts and it will save you that much time and frustration. So there it is.